Testing, testing, 1, 2. Hello, NALC! That's a table 2 chant. I said, hello, NALC! Why are we here today?
Fight like hell! Dump Trump!
We're here for many reasons, but the biggest reason is we're here to stop the privatization of the Postal Service. We have some great speakers here today. I want you to give them their full attention. You know, I've been around for 20 years. I'm branch president of 334 out of Framingham, Natick, Ashland. There's my branch. And I've been hearing from older carriers for years that, oh, they've been coming after us. We're not going anywhere. You know, what they leave out of that is that took a fight. It took a fight in the late 90s, early 2000s for strong wages. It took a fight in the 2010s for 6-day delivery, and it's going to take a fight that starts today. So I want you to go back to your branches after today and after you hear all these great speakers, and I want you to send them with that message that the fight starts today. They will not take away the Postal Service from the United States. We all know what happens if they do. UPS, FedEx, Amazon drive up the wages. There has to be something left in this country that's a service. It's not all about the billionaires. So I'm going to introduce I'll call him my co-host for today. Chris is going to say his last name, but I'm going to try it. Perpenseri. Close enough. All right. So here's Chris, and he's going to give you the agenda for today.
Thank you. All right. I can't pronounce it either, so don't worry about it. My name is Christopher Sampieri. I'm from Branch 18 in southeastern Massachusetts. I'm the legislative political director out there. Thank you, all three of you from Branch 18. I appreciate it. We've been on the Cape, so
it's on their way.
All right. So, just a quick format. We're going to have about 14 or 15 speakers. We're going to talk for a few minutes. Then in between every speech, we're going to have a quick chant. Reed has a megaphone. Hey, Reed. Oh, he'll be up here. So Reed will be doing some chants in between, just to get the crowd moving, get the blood flowing in between. So our first speaker is President James Capone from Branch 764. All right, everyone, give it up for James Capone.
Thank you. Look at this crowd. I want to thank you all for showing up today. All the branches, all the people who care about the post office. I want to thank my branch friends, 764, for being here today to support this. Post office started 250 years ago at the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia, where Postmaster General Ben Franklin was named. We're here at the 250th anniversary, right here in Boston, on the Boston Common, to fight to save the service.
Yeah, right!
We're going to make them hear us. We fought for collective bargaining in 1970. And since 1982, we have not publicly taken any subsidies. We've run on stamps. We've run the work that we have done. Since COVID, we've delivered billions of COVID tests so that the American public could stay home and stop the spread. Whenever, go ahead, give it to yourselves. You deserve it. Anytime there is a disaster, whether it be Katrina, Helene, the wildfires in Maui or Los Angeles, a global pandemic, we were out there delivering. We were delivering a service that is essential and is affordable to everybody. We deliver the same service whether it is Maui, whether it's Hyde Park, Massachusetts, the bottom of the Grand Canyon, or Point Hope, Alaska. Done on our backs. We are not going to let them take a service that connects the American people and make sure that your grandmother can get her medication, The people overseas fighting for us can get letters home to their family. For 250 years, they're not going to take this from us. They want to cut our services to give them to private corporations who raise prices.
Hell no.
They want to control our message. They want to be able to control the information. We have ways to fight this. Right here is one of the ways. We also need to get to our politicians. We have a letter carrier political fund. Table back here, put your name, your phone number, your branch. We need to be getting involved because they will take this service, they will cut it, they'll split it up, they'll charge higher prices, and they will control it all. We are here. We're going to keep fighting. We're not going to give up. We're fighting for a contract. We're fighting for fair wages for all of us. And we're fighting for this service. You guys should all be proud of the hard work you do. Every single day. Miles walking, rain, snow, global pandemics, doesn't matter. We delivered. We delivered every single day. We're going to fight like hell, and we're going to win this fight.
So, Reed missed out on his first chant because we thought our guest was coming over, but so I wanted to introduce Reed Wilder, who's going to lead you guys in a chant. Reed's been working with the Postal Service for a year and a half, so I want you to give it up for Reed. And be loud, let them hear you over at headquarters.
Chance!
Hey everyone. There's so many people from all over the state. This chant's about that. Alright, so if you'd please repeat after me. Get up, get down. Boston is a union town. Get up, get down. Boston is a union town. Get up, get down. Boston is a union town. Get up, get down. Boston is a union town. Get up. Starting with the new town now. Get up, get down. Worcester is a union town. Get up, get down. Worcester is a union town. Get up, get down. Worcester is a union town. Get up, get down. Salem is a union town. Get up, get down. Salem is a union town. Get up, get down. Salem is a union town. Get up, get down. Salem is a union town. Get up, get down. Framingham is a union town. Get up, get down. Framingham is a union town. Get up, get down. Cambridge is a union town. Get up, get down. Cambridge is a union town. Get up, get down. Who are we missing? Brockton.
Strange going on in this country today. Something dark and sinister. It lies not only in the fact of the lawlessness and disregard of the Trump administration, but it also lies in the unwillingness of the Republicans in Congress to stand up and prevent that lawlessness. You're afraid! Cowards! Traitors! Today, together, Americans face a moment of both urgency and of great consequence to the future of our country. And as a representative democracy, over these last 8 weeks of the Trump administration, we've witnessed cracks growing in the foundation of our very democracy. As the Trump administration and its henchman, Elon Musk, very popular with you guys, I see. Trump and Musk have turned our country away from the founding principles that our country was founded upon. Some of the most sacred beliefs of our founding documents. The Declaration of Independence, the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights, have been ignored and discarded by this president. Principles that our previous generations, greatest generations, have established, fought for, and indeed, in some cases, died for. And we, under this administration, they have departed from those sacred principles. We've seen this president attack and disparage the independence of the federal judiciary, defy their rulings, and reject the ruling of law that guarantees all Americans those basic rights that we enjoy and hold dear.
I'm not surprised.
Those rights and privileges are at the root of American exceptionalism, and they are the rights that make us Americans. We've witnessed the broadest and deepest attacks in history on federal workers. Many of them, like many of the postal workers, are armed service veterans that valiantly and courageously served this country. Trump and Musk have fired more veterans, more federal workers, than any president's administration in the history of this country. Our veterans and federal workers have endured mass firings by email.
Coward!
Fired by an unelected goon squad run by a billionaire, the richest guy in the world.
Goddamn corpos!
Completely regardless of the loyalty of those employees and the performance that they have done on behalf of our country. We've seen the very idea of public service trampled and degraded. We've seen many of our most talented and promising government researchers fired. And we've also seen the promise of that research in cancer and Alzheimer's devalued, discarded, and disrupted. At a time when millions of Americans desperately wait for a cure. And as every family knows who has a parent or a loved one waiting for that cure, for cancer or for Alzheimer's, we have no time to waste. And even on matters where Democrats and Republicans in Congress have had very few differences over the years, this administration has sharply divided us on even those issues.
They're afraid!
And I speak directly to the medical care and the dignity that we owe to our veterans. And those federal workers who care for our veterans. In its first 8 weeks, the Trump administration has fired more workers at the VA than any president in history. And because such a high number of VA employees are veterans, like at the post office, President Trump has fired more veterans than any president in history. And now President Trump has announced that he's going to lay off 80,000 more workers at the VA. It should trouble every American. It should trouble every American that even before those layoffs, we had a backlog of 250,000 cases at the VA. Which means that many veterans will have to wait months, if not years, to have their requests for treatment or for benefits awarded. Let us bear in mind that veteran benefits are different. They are special. When we talk about veterans benefits, we're talking about benefits that are owed to courageous veterans for services previously rendered. Each and every one of those veterans that's laying in a hospital bed at the VA has bravely and honorably served this country. They fulfilled their obligation to our country. And in many, many cases, absolutely. And in many, many cases, each and every one of those veterans bears the scars of war, both visible and invisible. And so now comes the time when America is required to fill her sacred promise to be there for those veterans. Yet what does Trump do? Trump begins to lay off the employees, 80,000 employees at the VA, even the employees who man the hotline for the veterans suicide hotline, trying to protect veterans in the midst of a suicide crisis among returning veterans.
If they die, you don't have to pay their benefits.
And sadly, again, every single Republican in Congress has acquiesced to the treatment of our veterans. So now Trump and Musk are coming for the National Association of Letter Carriers. They're coming for our postal workers. They're coming for our mail handlers, for our rural letter carriers, and for our postal supervisors, all of whom I work with down in Washington, D.C. Trump and Musk have also announced plans to lay off 10,000 of your brothers and sisters. I filed a bill 2 weeks ago when we found out what Trump had in mind. H.R. 70. So far I got 160 brothers and sisters in Congress to sign on that bill, including 8 Republicans. Privatization of the United States Postal Service. You know, it doesn't matter to Donald Trump or Musk that every year for the past 20 years, Postal Service employees have been voted by the American public as the most trusted and most valued of all government employees.